While India was celebrating Holi, our neighbor was sinking into a bigger financial hole. I'm talking about Pakistan. Their external debt rose by 38% in January compared to the same time last year. Now, this rise is being attributed to the devaluation of the Pakistani rupee. The rupee has slid 51% against the US dollar in the last 1 year. Inflation is an equally horrifying story in Pakistan. Prices have risen almost 40% since the war broke out in Ukraine. The situation is so bad that more than 8 lakh Pakistanis have fled the country last year. They are simply not able to find well-paying jobs. Now, what's happening in Pakistan cannot be blamed on one prime minister or one military leader. It's the result of decades of misgovernance, decades of putting defense, espionage, terrorism over food and education. One man who contributed to this culture over the years is Nawaz Sharif, former Prime Minister and brother of current Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. He's facing corruption charges back home, but Nawaz is enjoying the good life in London, and that's proof. Here's a video of him. You can see it on your screens. It's gone viral. You can see Nawaz Sharif arriving on a Bentley and heading straight into a Louis Vuitton store in London. If this picture doesn't sum up what's wrong with Pakistan, nothing does. As Nawaz browses through thousands of dollars of jackets, his brother is out with the begging bowl. The IMF had agreed to give Pakistan a $6.5 billion bailout. The first tranche of this bailout was supposed to be released this year. But the lending agency has now imposed a new condition. Pakistan must show that its balance of payment deficit is fully financed. If not, no bailout. The situation is so bad that factories and companies are shutting down. Reports are saying that Honda has decided to wind up operations in Pakistan. They say the government has tightened credit rules, making it impossible to continue production. The question is, what is the way out? I guess you can forget the Honda, go to London and buy a Bentley. That's what a former prime minister has done. But on a serious note, what's the way out for the average Pakistani citizen? For starters, this is election year in Pakistan. They must hold the general election before October 2023. Normally, elections can turn around a country's fortunes. But in Pakistan, that's not the case. It's not one political party or one political leader who is broken. The entire system in Pakistan is broken. So if bailout and elections cannot help Pakistan, what can? Let me put that question to my guest who is joining me this evening, Pratikit Prine. Good to see you on the broadcast. You're a geopolitical analyst. First, any comments on Nawaz Sharif's video going viral at Bond Street? He arrives rather stylishly in a Bentley and goes shopping at Louis Vuitton when half his country is starving.
Good evening, Shreya, and good to be on your show again. Shreya, I'm not surprised by what was shown by your channel, because that is one of the reasons, because it's institutionalized in Pakistan. These are the reasons because of which IMF have been extremely unwilling to give money to Pakistan, knowing well that majority of the money will flow out of the country. The rich, the elite, the military establishment, the bureaucrats and the politicians will take almost 70 to 80% of that and they'll go away. So you know, this is how Pakistan is. You will not find a poor Pakistan settled abroad. Everybody is rich, and even when they're sending the money back home, they are doing it in the black market, not through the the State Bank of Pakistan, because they know the exchange rate is not the real one. So the problem for Pakistan is this, that throughout the last 70 years, they have only done one thing. They have created hatred. They never had a blueprint in terms of creating institutional mechanism to run the country. They never focused on education. Ironically, Shreya, we had a situation in this country 30 years back in terms of balance of payment crisis. Look at the way India traversed to that situation across political lines, whoever was in power. There were times when it was difficult for us. We went through difficult times, made economic changes, and today we have emerged in spite of a lot of challenges we still have as a fifth largest economy of the world. Pakistan could have emulated what we have done, but they did not do it at all. Corruption is one thing. The other thing is that they had a disproportionate budget for defense because they have to justify the existence of a military, which in most cases did not require to be as huge as they were. Even today, Shreya, The reality is that Pakistan's, the opposition party leader Imran Khan would keep on saying that he will come and give the bluff of another Naya Pakistan he would create. Nobody in Pakistan knows what to do, because if you want to start analyzing what Pakistan's real problem is, Pakistan is a country which does not produce anything. It is, exorbitantly dependent on imports. Because they do not produce anything, so they have to import, and because they do not produce anything, they have to, they don't even have the foreign exchange reserve through which they can earn, they can actually import anything. And that's one of the reasons for which you showed about the Honda company, actually stopping production, because their letter of credits are no more there. Companies like Honda or any other automobile company, they actually import a lot of completely knocked down devices from the country where they originally from, and they assemble it in Pakistan. They simply do not today have the money to import because Pakistan is bankrupt. Again, one last point I want to mention, Pakistan's condition today is not because of something that has happened recently. Pakistan has always been a failed economy. The only reason they survived all these years is because they used their geostrategic location to actually snatch money from the Americans, from the Middle East, and from the Chinese. Today, everybody has taken their hands off. They are no more willing to accept the Pakistani bluff. And that is the reason that Pakistan today is finding it very difficult to survive. Shreya.
Okay, the IMF is saying no till they fix their ways, but China could bail them out. That's the news coming in, at least that's the news in the Pakistani media. We'll leave it there, Pratikrit, for the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. Slipping into a quick break on the show. There's some more news coming up on the other side. It's coming to us from Ahmedabad. Do stay with us.